In this video, I'm going to be drawing a brush using every one of the default brushes in Procreate. There's over 200 brushes that I'll be using to make this, so we'll see if I'm able to, number one, find some brushes that I really like that are hidden gems in Procreate, and secondly, get more comfortable using custom brushes with control, instead of just using the default brushes for everything and having a kind of plain and boring look with my art. So starting out with the sketch, I'm drawing a couple lines with each of the sketching brushes and hoping that it won't look too uneven. The hardest part is getting an even and straight line when I'm constantly switching brushes. And after doing a couple strokes with each, the sketch is finished and looking kinda weird, but it's good enough, so now I can start to get into the real mess, which will be trying to add colours while using the 190 brushes left. I added a new layer underneath and start with some base colours and some slight variation in the base colour so it doesn't look too flat by using a few different brushes. These are all from the drawing section. I hope to go through all the different sections in chronological order, but to be honest I've already skipped the inking section, which I'll have to go back to later to use all of those brushes as well. So far so good though, these drawing brushes are actually really surprising me with how good they are. They have a lot of detail and they blend together really nicely, especially the one called Gloaming at the top. I really like for the base layer, and then on top of it just glazing some other colours. So for the base colour and the handle I've used all of the brushes in the drawing section. Now I'm going to use all of the brushes in the painting section for the base colours and the metal bit. I generally find metal kind of hard to paint, so I'm not sure how much colour variation I actually want with it. I'm drawing outside the lines a decent bit, like a little kid by accident, but it's creating some cool textures around the outline of all the different brushes I've been using already. I feel I'm pretty dark with the base colour for the metal, but I think it's fine because I'm going to be adding way more onto it later anyways. I found some cool brushes in here. The gouache, which is nice, along with a few others. To be honest, I kind of already feel overwhelmed that I have too many good brushes and I want to use them all and get good at them, but there's just so many and I've only just started. I'll try and remember the ones that I like and then just continue on for now. I'm in the artistic section for the end of the brush, and I'm starting to get a lot more unusual brushes that have more interesting textures, some good, some bad. Now, I've also got to use the calligraphy brushes, so I guess that means they're going to be used for the ends of the brush. It kind of works in parts, sometimes. Now, I want to add some shadows, so I guess it's the perfect time to use 9 different airbrushes to do so. With the multiplier layer clipped above, that's exactly what I do. The most annoying part so far is constantly changing brushes every stroke, so I can't get into the flow of drawing anything and it's just super slow. Now, because I already didn't have enough texture, I'm going to be using the texture brushes to add even more, although I'm probably going to just use them for shadow instead. Now there's so many brushes I can't comment on them all, but for the rest of it I'm basically just going to be going through each and every one, putting down a stroke or two with it in some place I don't think will destroy the painting, and then going to the next one and repeating very tediously. Drawing's looking fine though, so I think I'm not complaining. It definitely doesn't look devoid of texture. Well, too much is an understatement to describe it at this point. I think there was a point at which more brushes made it worse, and I'm well past that point. The thing stopping this drawing from looking better isn't the detail, so adding more just doesn't do anything. Despite that, I think I might have added so much detail now that I've actually gone full circle, and it's actually looking pretty good. So yeah, overall, would I recommend you do this? Absolutely not. You don't need to use 200 brushes in one drawing, obviously. But I am pretty happy. I feel like I've discovered some new brushes, and I've got more comfortable with using custom brushes and how easily you can get super cool textures and so much detail from using just the default ones in Procreate. So yeah, definitely this challenge was a success.